Hello, beautiful Aquarius. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your Spirit saying very special July 2018 Soul Tarot reading. And of course, we are talking this month about the eclipse and the effects of the month of July going forward. So what you're seeing is the image of the cards. My spirit guides ask me to start with the image so that you can look into them just to take a preview, Spirit says. So take a quick look at the way the cards are displayed and who is over the top. Spirit's chattering already. So for those of you that don't know, I am a clairvoyant person. And I'm here on YouTube with a very special mission from my spirit guides on here to, Spirit says, generate and transmit messages in conjunction with my spirit guides about the special unfolding that's happening. We all know that there's a very special destiny awaiting us. There's a lot of shift and change. Spirit's talking about transition and transformation this year. They're really talking to me, so sorry about that. As was prophesied last year, all those kinds of things. I use the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot card. It is the wisdom of, Spirit saying, it's the wisdom of my people, my clan, originating from the Misty Isles and, Ireland and Scotland, actually, both. So let's jump into the cards. Let's talk about the eclipse. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about me, if you want to look at all the services and readings, distance healing, things like that that I offer, please go to my website. It is Moonrise Cottage Soul Tarot.com. There's a link on the video. There's a link on the landing page for my YouTube channel. And there's always a link right below the video in the description box. Okay, let's jump in. We have a lot to talk about. So right over the top of the reading, traditionally, Spirit says, what comes first is the spirit theme. The message, I always do my centering, my meditation, and ask, what is it you would like me to speak about? What is the message that you have for the people who find their way here? And so the first card that comes out, I call it, over the top of the reading, is that theme, that message. And it's interesting because this month, something different happened. The messages came out, and every time I shuffled the deck and a card jumped out, the very next card was the beautiful combat of skill, the goddess of sovereignty. So I'd put the card down, and the one that was underneath, this woman who's been showing up in all the personal readings, she's been showing up a lot, of course, because of the eclipse. And there she is. Finally, when the spread was done, I turned over the deck, and there she was on the bottom of the deck again. So I got a little chill, and I was like, okay, I hear you. Let's start with that. So here's the card. Look at that. Most of you know, I'm sure, that there is an eclipse of the sun on the day of the new moon, as always, on the 12th of July this year. And this woman is here to help us find our way, to help us break through the illusions. And with you, traveling with you this month and for the next 6 months going forward, the length of time the eclipse effect will be in force, she's traveling with you. That's the message from Spirit. And it's interesting. All the other readings have been out for 24 hours or more. And the way your reading came out was Spirit saying very specific. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to sit with it for a day. I'm just going to let it sit right here on my grandmother's table. That's where I do the readings from. And let that, Spirit says, I was letting it marinate so I could hear, because I knew there was something special about this reading. There's something that Spirit wants to talk with you about, Aquarius, because of your ability to, Spirit's saying to be the pathfinder, to lead us all forward in the way you do because you are an innovator. Very interesting. So make sure you go and look at your own astrology about what is happening in your chart while you make your way through these days. All right. So I'm going to switch back to the cards so you can see them all together. And I'm actually going to read from the text for you about this beautiful goddess. She is, of course, a sacred hag. And this, as the story goes, many of you may have heard it. There was a king whose kingdom was running out of water. He sent some folks out, some warriors, to find a new water source. And in each in their turn, they met this woman sitting in control of the water. They found, with joy, the answer they thought to their prayers. And she said to them, of course, when they asked for the water, yes, you can have access to the water element, but you must kiss me. There's a cost for this, and the cost is a kiss. Two of the young men, of course, in fairy tale nature, went away and refused to do it. And the third young man that came across her got down off his horse and said, of course I'm going to thank you. And he gave her a hug and a real kiss with love and gratitude and compassion and thanks in a very deep, heartfelt way. And in that moment, when love was applied, Spirit saying love and respect, of course she transformed because it was an illusion. So on the day of the eclipse, all of us have the opportunity to break through the illusions, and Spirit says, or begin to break through the illusions of those things that bind us to, Spirit saying, the episodes of the past, so that we can walk forward freely, enabled to walk into our destiny. And as you know, on the 27th of July, well, I'm talking about the dates as they are relevant here in the United States. So it may be the 13th and the 28th, depending on where you are. We have another eclipse on the day of the full moon, and we see the full moon on the top left of this reading. There's a lot going on here. And so, it's interesting, Aquarius. We are moving into the closer to the age of Aquarius, and Spirit guides are speaking about the way in which your energy brings us forward. So, the goddess of sovereignty is here to help us understand that within every dispute there is a solution if we can set aside our personal point of view and see the whole wider overview. Where is the kernel of truth and the balance in the present dilemmas of humanity? That's amazing to have that coming not only over the top of the reading as it applies to the eclipse, but in a general sense for the nature, the air sign nature of Aquarius. So if we peel that off the top, Spirit says, the very next card is the card that would have originally been the Spirit message. And it's really interesting, given what was just said about the goddess of sovereignty, who's here to help us burst through our illusions in these moments. That's rather fascinating. Look at that. So now we're talking about male patterned energy. The will to go forward, the impetus that takes the information that comes through the sacred feminine portal, by the way, and moves it forward. So this also has a very special meaning within the deck, and Spirit saying within this particular reading. So we see this man. This is actually a prophecy, the augury of battle. A new way is opening up because of the eclipse. And we see his purple-blue garments indicating transformation and change. There's a lot of purity, a lot of ethical purity in the intention of the energy of this moment. So that is the sacred sword of victory. It's unbeatable. And there is a preparation period that must be undertaken before you put your hands on the sword. So a prophecy about the type of battle that's going forward and the new way in which we will be moving through our days as spiritual warriors with male patterned energy finding its way through the illusion. Personally, I'm very excited. I love this. Spirit's been talking with me. For those of you that are new, sometimes I get interrupted and I just go with it. All right. So I am being interrupted right now by my spirit guides. In fact, what's been coming through to me for years, messages about the return of the goddess and the balancing of the energy. I believe we're in the beginning of those moments. I've been talking about it. Spirit guides have been talking about it through me, about yin and yang and all those notions, the building of the sacred tapestry, balance coming to us. And so here we see the feminine, the sacred feminine portal, bringing forward our ability to burst through the illusions that hold us in chains, Spirit says. And once that is revealed to us, the male patterned energy moves that idea forward. So once again, I'm just going to check in with the text for your benefit because I want you to hear some of the traditional message about this card as it relates to the rest of the spread. So, as I said, this is about prophecy, about battle and engagement. It is about strength, of course, and power and will, all the male patterned energy ideas. It's about honesty and ethics. But most importantly, it is about self-determination, an active championship of a cause, conquest over difficulties, and breakthrough. So, it's the other thing about this. It is within the prophecy, because you are an air sign, I find it really exciting, the placement. So the augury, or the prophecy that is given by the sword of Nuado, is received upon the wings of the wind that blows freely throughout the world. That is the breath that animates all living beings and enables the prophetic song to be sung. The spirit of the suit of battle is heard most clearly through the element of the air and from the regions of the sky. And it is asking you, alerting you, that you are being called to engage more strongly with your energetic set point. That's Spirit saying, that's what it's all about here on this channel. It is about your energetic set point. Spirit's talking about the age of Aquarius. I know we're moving in that direction. There is a form of leadership that you are imbued with. Because as an air sign, and look at the other air sign readings for this month, would you? There are strings of energy, strings of information there. You're going to feel it. There is something so ethereal about this eclipse. It's really intense. The balancing of male and female energy. I'm going to do a live stream on Sunday, the 8th at noon. So check it out, okay? Think about the things that I just said. We are in the moments before you put your hands on the sword and come and break through the illusions. The eclipse is opening the portal of knowledge, Spirit saying, and in those days you are being prepared. And the way in the ancient days warriors were preparing for this type of a passage, Spirit saying, is to sing spells of victory upon the sword. Bards and poets sang victory and praises, songs of incitement, in order to imbue the sword with the intention of the warriors. That's beautiful. I'm sorry, I put the card down. That's really beautiful. It's an incredibly mystical moment. On the 12th, from the 12th through to the 27th. And I know I don't need to emphasize for that for you, but Spirit's asking me to say it. So the very next card, the augury of battle, is a part of the theme, the message of Spirit wants to come forward for your benefit and to have a discussion with you about through me. The next card is the card that indicates you in this moment. And that's what I love. When you hear this, okay, this is just really special array of cards this time. So there we see this beautiful woman. She is sitting in this place. Her walk has been transformed. Her shoes are the color of transformation, and yet she embodies her passion. It's a beautiful summer day. She's just sitting in a tranquil place, a body of water, and she has a vessel filled with water. She is in a place of security, and she's reviewing the things that are happening around her. And what I love about this, given the way Spirit is speaking with you, she's looking into the air element and she's having a vision and she's thinking about her life and about what it means to be in this place and to be involved with the active principle. Look at that. The feminine principle, having some thoughts, the judgment of her skill set as it relates to the male principle. And there's a lot more to this card. There's a mythical story that goes with it. So again, I'm just going to review that for you very briefly so that you can understand the messages that are coming forward for you, okay? So the judgment of skill, Spirit's asking me to tell you one other little detail. So in this deck, we have the suit of battle. Then we have the suit of skill. And so we are following along the pathway of the energy in and of itself, in general, Spirit says, okay? So we have this idea, once again, of peace, harmony, prosperity. The notion deep within the mythical element of this card is what Spirit wants to focus on. And it has to do with the eternal combat as a mythical depiction of the struggle between dark and light. And look at the two cards that are sitting together with the beautiful goddess of sovereignty, the illusionist, here to help us break through that which binds us so that we can have access to the water element, which is all about Spirit saying truth and abundance in the widest sense, which means harmony, happiness, the ability to grow, because the water element is needed for things to grow. So Spirit's talking to you in a way that is deeply metaphorical this month. And it's coming out through the cards, which I really love. So I'm going to do my best to go one by one through the cards as I always do, but to really try to open it up to Spirit so that some streaming can come through. Because there's something very deep that's attempting to come out for you. So when it comes to this notion of the eternal combat between light and dark, cold and heat, decay versus growth, this is Spirit saying that is what keeps life in balance, the cycle. And we are at a place of completion and beginning, all in the same month. That is the mystical journey that the eclipse is bringing to us this particular year. Okay? And Spirit's saying, if you haven't seen the video that I put up a year ago, go and look. It will help you be more informed about this moment because we've come through that cycle now for a full year. So, neither the power of darkness or the power of light or, winter, spring, however you want to think that through for yourself, decay versus growth, etc. Neither one is good or evil. And there is a need to bring things into balance. In these moments, there is an attempt to temper, if you will, the idea of constant change and growth and decay. In these times going forward, it is a time for us to come into a greater balance and understand the cycles that we go through, the measure, Spirit says, of the yin and yang, and how they work together and what they bring. So Spirit wants me to toggle back and show this to you, just so you clearly understand the blending of male and female energy after we break through the illusion. And, if you've looked at the preview of the live stream that's coming on Sunday, you'll see I put a little video, a music video there. That's what's coming through to me. It's about the feminine energy, and this is the other card that keeps popping out. All right, the Shaper of Growth, the Sacred Mother. What it is when the feminine energy activates and creates the stimulation that brings forward the response of the male energy pattern and what happens in that moment. We are coming into a place of greater awareness and ability to wield, if you will, that balance. It's really interesting. And both the energies are going to be working on that as we go through the month for the air signs and for you in particular. The very next card has come out in, gosh, it's interesting. They've been set up differently, but the pattern of the cards has been very similar. Spirit just has a blanket message for us all, a little bit attenuated, Spirit says, depending on your astrological set point. All right? So that is beautiful male energy, obviously. That is the warrior of skill. And the warrior of skill follows in the reading, in terms of the spread, follows the beautiful judgment of skill. When we ponder, when the feminine aspect within all of us has a moment to just sit in the splendor, Spirit saying, of summer, knowing the transformation has come to us over the past year, doing some review and pondering, where is she? Spirit's talking about this beautiful woman, okay? Pondering, and that's actually this way. Pondering. The Spirit says, all that there is to ponder, including the imponderable. So, whatever happens in terms of the energy of this, it carries forward through the month, and it is delivered to the beautiful warrior of skill. The warrior of skill, his superpower, Spirit says, is to wait for sacred impulse to come to him. And this month, the impulse is coming out of the divine feminine. And because of his masculine principle, the fact that he has his power in his hand, he has magic, he has sustenance, and he has the white horse, the means to go forward into the sacred impulse that arrives within him. And Spirit saying, from the sacred feminine this month, that's what it's about. And you'll see as we go through the cards, weaving in and out. It's beautiful. So the very next card, what the beautiful warrior of skill does with that sacred impulse is he goes on an adventure. And if you look at the card, you'll see the turning of the triple spiral. Destiny turning in the cloak of night. That's what the story's about. And you see the sacred vibration. That instrument was the instrument that held the sacred songs, accompanied the sacred poetry of the tribe. And that young man is the singer, the poet. The instrument was taken away in a battle, an epic battle. Okay, Spirit saying, like this. Just to make, what Spirit says, just to put a fine point on it. Okay? And now it's time to go and get the vibration back. And I'm getting choked up. And those of you that know me know when the energy comes intensely into me, it stimulates my heart chakra. And often it brings tears to me because the beauty of it is so intense. Okay, and Spirit's talking about the heart chakra as the vibratory instrument that is being regained. Right? So he had to go under cover of night to sit outside the enemy encampment, those that took the magic harp, and chant and sing and raise up, Spirit says, his internal vibration in order to be in touch with the instrument that began to vibrate in response to his internal instrument. And it literally rose through the air and came back to him. And, I'll tell you, my heart chakra's cracking open. This is deep. And I'm just asking Spirit to give me the words to translate the feeling through spoken language to you. And I would encourage everyone to just try to, actually, when you watch the video, try to just be with the emotion, with the vibration, whatever you're feeling inside of you. Follow that, Spirit says. That's what this reading is about. It's about the vibration of the air element in these moments of the eclipse. Very important this year because the air element is vast and it has the capacity to travel of its own will across the entire planet. Spirit's saying, think about that. What would it be if anything were possible and you believed that your energy vibration, your intention of purity was available to you in a way that was real? And Spirit's saying, it is. And it's time to see it and to feel it and to take the adventure to return there so that vibration can be returned to you. And I love that it's a story about going under the cloak, hidden in a way, and going under the cloak of night. The eclipses on the moon, new moon and full moon. So Spirit's saying, if this is your intention, if this message resonates with you, write down the intentions that well up from your heart chakra on the day of the eclipse. And let's work together to form this tapestry that is meant to help us break through these illusions, take the next step. All right, so let's look at the next step. No surprise whatsoever, Aquarius. That is a major arcana card. That is the dedicator of lore, who makes this willing sacrifice. The Spirit says the sacrifice I was just talking about, to become one with the lore of his tribe. So Spirit says, I hope you understand the theme that is coming forward. It's a very auspicious moment for all the air sign people. And I can't remember if I said it, but go please and look at some of the other readings for the other air sign cohorts, okay? This is about sacred sacrifice. And the sacrifice is, Spirit saying, here's the sacrifice. All right, I mean, obviously it's this, when you dedicate yourself, but it's this, right? This whole reading is about sacred vibration, the sacred poetry, singing the songs over the sword, singing the chants that come off the vibratory instrument, responding to the sacred impulse, all of it. You're going deep, Aquarius. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for making the decision to come here in this time as the vibratory instrument that you literally are in order to participate in the shift and change that is our destiny. It's so beautiful to me. And I'm feeling the vibration, maybe because I'm talking about it, Spirit's streaming it through to me. So Spirit's saying it's available to you if you allow yourself to burst through the illusion and come deeply into your nature and allow the vibration to fill your being. The very next card is the bridge card. I love that it is all of this male intention. Take a look. All of this intention having been activated, in a sense, by the feminine, the sacred feminine, who ponders and is here to release us into the realm of the sacred, into the realm, actually in a way, of the goddess of sovereignty, in order to dedicate yourself to the sacred lore of the tribe. Just exactly what the adventure of art is talking about. So, I'm going to back up a little bit. The principle that comes with the dedicator of lore is something that is deeply ancient, Spirit says, and it's about becoming worthy to be a keeper of the sacred lore, to be the instrument of vibration. And in a sense, we see another goddess, actually, that is the goddess of sacrifice, who is arising out of the sacred cauldron in order to bestow her gifts upon the initiate. It has everything to do with the ability, if you will, to be able to sacrifice, pardon me, yourself for a specific purpose. And we see the purpose coming out through the cards. So the cards are a little bit misaligned because of the way they came out. But if they were aligned the way they are meant to be aligned in the photograph of the spread, here's what it would look like. You see that? There's the step you take when you go on the adventure, you find yourself here in this way with this beautiful goddess. Again, initiating you in this way. They support each other, Spirit says, okay, in a way that is unmistakable. The energy is there because of the swirl that's going on and because the goddess of Sovereignty is here opening the way during the first eclipse so that your intentions can manifest and go forward. So we're seeing a lot of notation about that and some information about the actual journey and how it's going to go forward. So, of course, we see more mystical feminine power on the bridge card. Look at that. That is the Raven Goddess. That is the Morrigan. She is a very sacred, mystical goddess. She is the goddess of battle, the Queen of Battle, here to support, once again, the Augury of Battle, the sacred warrior. And through a mystical process of shift and change and growth, I'm going to toggle back and show you, take a look at the very middle row of cards. That is always the deepest point of impact, Spirit says, the middle row and the middle column. It's very, Spirit's talking about this very fine point of destiny. The moment of an eclipse, very short. These eclipses, actually this eclipse that's coming, is the longest eclipse that has happened in many years. So Spirit says, go and look up some information about that. And why would the Morrigan be here along with the goddess of Sovereignty? That's how deep the moment is, Aquarius. And you're going on a really deeply ordered, Spirit says, mystical journey. Not only do we see on the human realm the type of travel responding to an impulse in order to have an adventure of art that is destined to turn our destiny, the birth, life, death cycle, which is what, in fact, that woman is pondering. So every card in this reading has multiple strings going out from it about this vibration that Spirit's talking about. So again, I'm just going to keep reminding you about the nuances. Look at how these cards are aligned. Look at the way the energy moves through the reading. Opening with a sacred mystical goddess, with the male and female energy aligned, both thinking about battle, both thinking about the cycle of life and death, the sacred sword of victory, and the impulse that comes from the yin-yang of those two things, delivered directly to the warrior of skill, who takes it forward to a sacred adventure about the art of reaching one's destiny. And in that moment, you become the dedicator, the sacred initiate, dedicating your life to the mystical art of these foundations, Spirit says. And when you take that decision, there is another deeper aspect of going into the mystic, deep into the mystical realm, traveling on the energy of the sacred feminine, the Queen of Battle, here to accompany this transition, the shift and change. It's phenomenal to me. And I'm getting a chill, I have to say. Quite lovely. A prophecy and, Spirit saying, just to help you understand, a prophecy about battle. And the feminine shamaness here to guide you into the victory that is meant for the energy set point to reach its destiny. The first step, of course, on the spirit realm is reflective of the energy that is rising up from the earth in these moments. So there we see the story of what's happening as we lead into the eclipse on the new moon, make our way through that and all the energy swirl that is going to be there for you and for all the inhabitants of earth, Spirit says. And then we reach the zenith, Spirit's calling it, the full moon, the eclipse of the full moon. And given everything that's been spoken, this also really amazing to me. That's a major arcana card. We are delivered here by the Morrigan, the Queen of Battle, into the realm of the imaginer of harmony that is a sacred vessel. You see how deep, very deep, diving deep into the mystical waters for the next phase of this adventure. This actually, Spirit's correcting me, for the next phase of the transformation coming into culmination in that moment. You know, the full moon brings things to the light, brings the culmination. It is an ending, Spirit's calling it the Alpha and the Omega, that swirls through the month and in this moment. You are, Spirit says, you come into the light. And it's the mystical light that you come into. That sacred vessel, you can't tell by this depiction, but it has golden oars. It is imbued with the power to take anyone who sits in the vessel any place I'd like to go. And Spirit's saying it's a reflection of the sacred cauldron. This is, okay, Spirit's talking about the depth and the height and the depth of the sacred feminine and its mystical ability to create the portals that the male energy must meet in order for those things to swirl together so the energy can be unleashed and we can reach our destination. And the destination that you're striving toward is harmony. And here in this place, okay, Spirit's saying, meaning here on the earth, here in this place, we have the opportunity, all of us, given our basic energy set point, to imagine the harmony and to travel there by swimming very deeply into the mystical sacred feminine with the male intention. And Spirit's laughing a little bit and saying, yeah, sometimes slang comes through. It's kind of funny. So, you know, that's why if you go and take a look at the live stream event announcement that's on the channel, there's a video there. It's a Santana of music, and it's just about the Spirit's been talking about sort of the seduction of the sacred feminine, drawing the male energy forward in order to reach a goal, right? And if you wipe away all the sort of human stuff, you know, it does have a purpose. They are meant to work together. They are meant to ignite each other, to bring change and bring new life. And that's what's happening. That's what Spirit's talking about. So the next card in the spirit realm, actually Spirit says talk about them together. The next two cards, actually the King and Queen of Knowledge. Phenomenal. The Queen of Knowledge looks directly into the imaginer of harmony. She also has a vibratory instrument. She sits suspended in the universe, weaving our destiny together. And there we are, dancing under the light of the moon and the sun, because you know there's solar eclipses, but they're happening on the cycle of the moon. Triple powerful. And the King of Knowledge, in a sense, is, for this period, the destination. The King of Knowledge, oops, sorry, wrong card. King of Knowledge sits in his life and he has abundance. He has renewed abundance. So he always has a pig roasting on a fire. And there is and it never dies, right? So they roast the pig, they eat the pig, there's another pig in the pen. The two of them just constantly cycle. He has been transformed, and he is in the prospect of new growth. And he sits very comfortably with his knowledge. And the truth is, it's interesting, because the outcome card is the first card in the major arcana of the deck. And it is the intention that comes, sorry. Okay, that's the decider of will. That is the great god Dagda. Imbuing the male energy pattern with the will to take on this mission, reach through, go through the portal of the sacred feminine, and make the decision to ignite the will of the male energy pattern. So while this is going on, actually, it comes into the human realm, often disguised. So this guy's actually a peasant, right? And he's sitting there as the king of knowledge. So the message is, it's all of us. You don't have to be a king. You don't have to be a sacred goddess. These are the aspects we all hold within us. And I'm going to toggle back to the cards. So we have this incredible event unfolding, and there's a lot of power in this reading. And it is the power of transformation. The journey, the preparations we must make, and the journey that comes forward for us as we go through the month. And then there is actually another eclipse coming in August. Most of you probably know that. So, as we go through these days, understand the deepest possible way the pattern of the energy, and prepare as you are being prepared through the outcome card, the decider of will, to come forward and be activated to take the next step. So that's why Spirit was talking about its beginning and ending and a new pathway opening up all in the same month. Enjoy the eclipse. It's going to be phenomenal. Keep a notepad by your bed. If you wake up in the night and you've had a dream or a vision, write it down and write down the feeling that comes to you. What is it? What is the sensation that has arrived with you? So that you know, because those things tend to drift away. I'll be really eager to have a discussion with you on the thread below the video, and I'm looking forward to everyone joining together to celebrate on the 8th, on Sunday at noon, for the live stream event. Thanks, everyone, for your patience and your time. I appreciate it.